So what actually happens when you quit porn? Let's find out. Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode here at Sobriety University. On this channel we talk about addiction and recovery-related topics. My name is Joel, and in this video we're going to be talking about what actually happens when you quit porn. Recently I've started talking more about this topic, and I'm really looking forward to incorporating this into Sobriety University because porn addiction was something I dealt with, had a lot of consequences, and now that I'm free of it, it's such a relief, and I'm really excited to share all the benefits that have come from it, and also how to quit too, because that's kind of a question a lot of folks have, especially men here in this industry. So before we begin, like, comment, subscribe, and let's begin. So the first thing that happens when quitting porn is the brain starts to rewire, as in the dopamine levels start balancing out a bit, where when I would watch porn, I would get this huge spike of oxytocin. It was basically like taking a drug. And I'd be so high, I'd be like, wow, this is something else, man. Any woman I wanted, instant, a click away. Obviously it wasn't real, of course, as you know, but it tricked the mind into believing it. And therefore, I got the chemicals and the release as if I had gone out and actually met someone, had a relationship, done the whole courtship thing. I got that in a click of a button. And so what happened was when I quit, I started to kind of come back into a more baseline. I wasn't getting these huge spikes of endorphins and oxytocin. And to be honest, it was kind of like, I think that's kind of where withdrawal comes in. I was like, oh, this sucks. I want to get high again. And again, with quitting addiction and any addiction, getting through that period is essentially the withdrawal period, and getting through that is the key into being able to have long-term sobriety. That part can be very difficult though, and it was for me for sure. I had a year off at one point and I relapsed. And when I decided to try again, I would go maybe 6-7 days at a time, and it would, it built up. So it wasn't like every time I failed or whatever, but I definitely craved that high, and it took a while to rewire my brain to kind of to finally take that step and say, okay, I'm done for good. So in short term, my mood was a little more stable. So the second thing that happened is I started to view people differently. Now this was a huge one, and it's benefited my life in so many ways because I really realized for the first time how much I objectify people, whether it be men or women. And because, well, I would watch straight porn or lesbian porn, and I would see the guys, first off, and I would start comparing myself to them, to their performance, which is obviously they take like Viagra, so it can be hard for 8 hours. And I would start to see other people in the real world that looked like these guys, like usually pretty big, pretty muscular, good looking. And I would get jealous because I'm like, I would instantly think that they're just out there railing chicks. Like in the porn videos, and most of them are just normal dudes like me. Well, they are normal dudes like me. A lot of them have a girlfriend, maybe some of them are single even, some of them have social anxiety, they're not these special beings. So in terms of the women, because my sexual preference is women, I started to view them differently too. And so with women, what changed is I stopped objectifying them as well, and I started to view them and see more their human essence. Now, being a male and having high testosterone and being bred to plant my seed, I'm just gonna be honest here, I still have that sexual draw towards women. It's never gonna go away, and maybe once I'm older it will. But for now anyway, I'm in my 20s, so I got a lot of testosterone. I'm still gonna view women in a sexual way. It's just my hard wiring. However, I'm not only going to view them in a sexual way, and that's what changed when I stopped watching porn, is I started to see, oh, these are like people too. Like they have personalities, they have stuff they're going through. They're not, the hot ones aren't these super saints that are perfect and unicorns. Like they have issues, they have baggage. Some of them don't behave very well. And it's like, I just started to see the whole gambit, and it just kind of humanized everything. Now, I'm going to be honest, having this perspective shift was actually kind of difficult because I viewed everyone as an object. I didn't have any emotional attachment to them, which kind of is going to lead into number 3 here. However, I didn't have any emotional attachment, so therefore I could still go throughout my day and not get triggered. I could not have these emotions come up about like wanting to go talk to this person or whatever. It was just all like basically like looking at like watching a movie. Like you don't actually like really feel, well, sometimes you do if it's a really good movie, but you know they're like, it's like you're watching the screen, right? That's how it kind of felt in reality, where I was walking around and everyone was just like an image on a screen basically, and the screen was my own mind and my own ego and my own delusions, and that started to dissipate. And so what I'm saying is that it was kind of painful. I'm like, oh shit, I'm exposed. I can't hide behind this facade or this illusion of what I thought men and women were. Like they're people now, and I started to treat people differently too, which was a little bit scary, I'm gonna be honest. So the last thing that happened when I quit watching porn was that I started to experience emotional connections with people. Maybe for the first time in my entire life, besides maybe when I was a little kid and I was just like egoless and just like a pure raw essence. And like I kind of talked about, number 2 here is that I started to see people more as people. And therefore I started to view the situation, view our interactions on a deeper level, where I could actually kind of get a soul connection almost. It wasn't, again, like I was talking to a brick wall anymore. It was like I was talking to this living, breathing organism just like me. And therefore, I also tuned back into my own emotional center, and therefore it just became a positive cycle of, okay, I can express what I'm going through and experiencing with another human being now. And therefore they could return that energy to me. And it was really nice. I'm not gonna lie. It's something I've always craved and wanted and thought was just like not possible. I've had glimpses in the past, but once I realized that, okay, like I get to actually have relationships with people, whether it's like romantic or not, or just like platonic, each one is like a great experience. And I get to have joy in it. And I knew from once I started to experience that on a regular basis, that there was no way I was going back to porn anymore. And I started to see the correlation behind watching so much porn and how my relationships were playing out in real life. And porn went down, relationships went way up, and they continue to go way up. And I continue to get better skills and better understanding of how to interact with people. It's a skill that I'm still honing because I spent so much of my life kind of numbed out through addiction or through TV, through porn, etc. It's a skill that I'm gonna be honest here, that I'm not always great at, and so I have to keep practicing, and I just keep getting rewarded by great interactions with people, deep connections, and sometimes I'm almost like I get confused. I'm like, did that just happen? Like what? So it's a work in progress for sure, and I'm just so happy to be free of porn. Comment down below if you've experienced any benefits from porn, or what happened when you finally quit, because I'm sure a lot of people would like to know. I would like to know, and I look forward to talking more about this topic. Keep coming back, like, comment, subscribe, and talk to you soon. Peace.